This is Blueprint Land Creation Podcast with your prophetic professor, Benford B. Manson. And today I'm back here in our ecosystem in the university yard. We are in the Caribbean pine forest. And as you can see, what I'm looking at is the cloud formation. As this is a hot day in the month of October, autumn is here in the Caribbean pine forest. And I was doing some more research, letting you know more about the Caribbean pine trees. But like as I said to you before, the heat is extremely hot in the Caribbean pine forest. And what happens is, every so often we have fires in the Caribbean pine forest. Same like United States, some part of the United States is still burning. But here in the Bahamas right now, in the month of October, we don't have no forest fires right now. Our fires are over with. But the other trees now are growing, and so as I made mention again, those clouds at their place a very important part. They have a lot of downdraft. I saw one day I was coming from New Providence on a small aircraft, around about 12, and as we passed through the clouds, I could feel like somebody just thumping the plane. Boom, 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 boom. And the pilots them start talking. The pilot said, "Man, I don't like to fly in this kind of weather, because what happens is the weather, in terms of the heat, it causes a lot of downdraft. It keeps pushing and slamming against it, and it's bouncing off the ground." So I said, okay, that allowed me to learn a little bit more. I did some more research on it, because what happens is once that comes down, I noticed something else. We got a species of bird called the turkey vulture, and I normally see them when the black clouds come. I normally see them flying around like something is dead. They're just cycling. And I used to always wonder why they are doing that. And as I get to understand and ask more questions from other professors in the field, especially those who are pilots in the field, and they said something is important. They said that what happened is that lift, that wind of that lift, just like our plane are able to fly on it. You know, of course, the plane have to go extremely fast to stay up there. And you see the birds, them just gliding and just flapping their wings and floating around. And so what they doing? On that lift that is coming back up from the earth, like for example, even in the morning, you know that in the night, you got that draft, that dew, and then it'd be very cold. And what happens in the morning, it now just comes up, it rises back up. And like I said, and it start getting hurt, because what happens is we call it, when you look on the streets, you see on the streets how the steam is coming up, all that energy coming up. And what happens, the same thing happens is that lifts, and when it lifts, the birds are able to fly on that and just glide on that. And so it's important. So the clouds plays a very important part in ecosystem. Of course, the clouds have rain also in water, also in it. It has a lot of everything in nature is alive. Everything in nature is alive. That's why when you look at my avatar on Blueprint Land Creation Podcast, you see them how eyes. You see the sun got an eye in it. You see the earth got an eye in it. And if you zoom in more closer, you see seas and trees, and everything has life, because what it is doing, it is all for the important or for you and I. It is building land. That's what it's building. Now a lot of the geologists and so forth can't figure out all of the details of how that happens. I hear a lot of people talking, and I see a lot of stuff on the various different channels that they're talking about this and they're talking about that. Some close to some information, but there are much more. So everything is to build land. So it's important with us here. It gives you important of understanding this portion of Blueprint Land Creation. Can't see nothing there.